I don't want to pay for the blue check mark to see other people's tweets, and joining another social media site like Thread is even a bigger pain, especially since it comes from Meta and will most likely steal all my data. So jump in, we're going to hack Twitter to disable this new rate limiting feature. First, we play around on the website and look for fields that we can input malicious things into. And after finding and exploiting an SQL injection, we already hacked into the web server that is hosting twitter.com. But I can't disable the rate limiting from this hacked machine. I need to go deeper into the network, to the domain controller. The domain controller will give me access to Twitter's entire network, which will allow me to disable the rate limiting feature. After setting up a pivoting point on the hacked web server and creating a separate folder for my hacking adventure, I'm going to scan for the domain controller inside Twitter's network. This could take a while, so time to grab a coffee and leave a like down below. And after hours of waiting, one of my Nmap results finally returned something interesting. There are a ton of open ports, giving me a huge variety of possible attack vectors, and this host in particular has the ports 139 and 445 open, both of which are used for SMB. SMB, or Server Message Block, is a network protocol mainly used for providing shared access to files within a network. This means that I could potentially access sensitive files on my target that could contain credentials. So I take the plunge and perform an SMB enumeration using SMB Map, a tool that allows me to scan and enumerate all Samba shares on my target. And I discovered that I can access the SMB share replication as an anonymous user, but only with read-only access. Now I'm pretty sure that this is the next target I want to hack. During my search in the replication share, I discover a folder called Policies. This folder contains a couple of subfolders that lead me to a groups.xml file, a group policy preference file, or short GPP. Quickly, I download it onto my local machine and open it. I discovered this XML node with the user attribute of active.htb/svctgs and the cpassword field. I'm pretty sure that the cpassword is some kind of password. This is amazing, we got some credentials. I can feel it. I'm this close to being able to disable the rate limiting feature for Twitter. So I tried to log in using the password and username I found, but it's not valid. What? Are you telling me that cpassword is not that password? What is it then? As I discover after googling cpassword and GPP, the login failed because Microsoft encrypts the password with AES. But the good news is that according to the MSDN site, the key is static and publicly available. And as it turns out, I have already installed the perfect tool to crack it on my Kali machine. gpp-decrypt, a simple Ruby script that will decrypt the given GPP encrypted string by using the static key mentioned before. All I need to do is type in gpp-decrypt followed by the encrypted string, and after a while I get the password, GPP still standing strong 2K18. But after connecting to the server's SMB shares again, I make a devastating revelation. The user I hacked is not an admin. I can't access the administrator folder or any other folder except the svctgs one for that matter. Another roadblock on my path to disabling Twitter's rate limiting bug. But I'm guessing that svctgs stands for the Ticket Granting Service User. And the port scan I did in the beginning shows that port 88 is open, which means that Kerberoast is running. So I can now use a method called Kerberoasting to get an admin ticket. As this would take too long to explain, you can find more detailed resources to Kerberoasting in the description down below. But if you want full video covering Kerberoasting, let me know with a comment and a like. First, I'll add the IP to my host file with the name active.htb, since this seems to be the domain name according to the GPP file. All I need to do now is run in packets get get user SPN tool to get the Kerberos tickets of the hosts containing the passwords of all users. After a short wait, InPacket returns the ticket, but it is encrypted. So I need to crack this one as well, but gpp-decrypt is no help here. Luckily, a tool called John the Ripper can crack almost anything. So I put the encrypted ticket into a separate file and run a word list attack on it using John and the rockU.txt word list. And after a while, I get the password ticketmaster1968. Now that I have the admin credentials, I need to access the domain controller again. But SMB will not be enough this time, and there is no SSH server running on the target. I need a way to get a shell. After another Google search, I discovered that our now beloved tool suite of InPacket contains the perfect tool to do so, ps-exec. So I grabbed the InPacket ps-exec tool, which will give me an interactive shell on the host, and try to connect to the machine using the administrator username and the cracked password. And I'm finally admin of this machine. Now that I finally control the domain controller, I can remove the rate limiting of Twitter and do so much more. But how did I get into Twitter in the first place? Find that out in this video on screen. By the way, if you want to play along next time, make sure to join HackTheBox via my affiliate link in the description.